Welcome friends to the Beaver Dam. We're gonna have a damn fine time here talking about the Naboo raid. Now a lot of you guys have this new Lightspeed bundle, or new at this point, of the Jedi Lightspeed bundle, meaning that you have a raid team and now you need to know how to use it. And so we're gonna go over just kind of every little piece you need to know to be able to get this to work, how it works, all that kind of stuff. We're currently live doing some different stuff. I had some time. We're gonna do some conquest later, but hey, figured we'd record this while I have the raid up and running. So all you need to get this to like technically work, like you can get a lower score without it, but the Luminara Zeta basically guarantees you a full score if you mod well, and you know, that kind of thing. Ki-Adi-Mundi essentially throwing him on this team makes it so that way you can essentially full auto this, I'm gonna be honest. But without Ki-Adi-Mundi, you could throw Qui-Gon in here. You could throw Eth Koth, although I don't suggest Eth Koth. I would probably do Qui-Gon. That's what I was doing to get a full score earlier. I'm going to use Ki-Adi-Mundi just because I have him, so why not? So essentially how this works is when you use a Galactic Republic healer Jedi, which is such a niche thing, there's only 2 in the game, so Luminar is essentially your only pick that's actually helpful. Then you get a whole bunch of perks. One of them being whenever you have potency up, you will deal true damage, which ignores defense every time any Jedi deals damage. And so Kit Fisto in his kit with his AoE gives potency up. And so he's going to be the thing that allows us to swing harder than we should, essentially. Now, Luminara, you can see here, I don't really have a ton leveled up on her. You can level her up farther if you want to. I don't think it necessarily matters. This one is pretty nice, just having a reduced cooldown, but I don't think it's like strictly necessary. But the leader ability says whenever an ally gains a buff they do not have, they gain a heal over time effect for 2 turns. And the reason that this is important is because there's another addendum which says when they're under this Jedi lead, then we also get defense penetration for every buff on each ally. And so, you know, if you have 10 buffs, you're going to get 100 defense penetration, so on and so forth. And so you're trying to layer as many buffs to keep your defense penetration up, because these guys have high defense, and you're trying to just basically keep your buffs going at all times. And so that Zeta that allows her to be able to double the amount of buffs that allies have is super important. And then Kit Fisto is super important. As for mods, honestly, I've gotten a full score with like garbage mods. Like I got these characters through some garbage mods and got a perfect score. Yes, that's going to take some RNG, but I just threw health mods on all of them and I was fine getting a perfect score. Now, that being said, if you want to guarantee your perfect score, you're going to want to do something like this, where you know, put heal stuff and speed on Luminara, you know, offense on Ki-Adi-Mundi. The reason we're going offense and not crit damage for these characters is because we're dealing true damage, and true damage cannot critically hit. And so that means we want to up the offense, not up the crit damage. And just put as much speed as you can on these characters. I use a speed health set on her because we're just trying to have her be fast, so that way she can keep the taunt up and also be able to do that type of thing where, you know, we heal our allies up. We got Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto, we just got offense, and I just gave him the fastest mods I could. That's why we have a broken set here, because we want him taking as many turns as possible, because every time he hits this, he gets his potency up, which is what allows us to do our true damage. So we want to focus down on getting Kit Fisto as many turns as possible. Plo Koon's our tank. He doesn't taunt himself, but Shaak Ti will force him to taunt, which is very nice. Once again, since he's a tank, health, and there you go. The mods aren't anything too crazy, just honestly, as I said, I've done this with garbage mods. This is just because I'm doing this for my guild right now. That's why I have really good mods on here, but I have done this with garbage mods. And I only have like, what, 45 minutes until this raid is over, and so I don't want to screw over my guild. Okay, so when it's her turn, you essentially always just want to hit this ability if you have it open, and you're going to always target Plo Koon because it forces Plo Koon to taunt. With Ki-Adi-Mundi or whoever you have here, it really doesn't matter. You're just trying to always deal damage and keep offense up and other buffs on your team. Essentially, when it comes to Qui-Gon, you'll want to time out your, you know, whenever you see someone with buffs, you hit them with that one ability that gives you offense up for your team, because obviously having more buffs, better for this overall team. With this guy, I literally just kind of keep switching forms and just keep hitting people. I am going to hit the heal just to get us a couple buffs going. Let's get some turn meter going. But yeah, you can see already we're just absolutely annihilating them because they're all, you know, counterattacking, and they all have that potency up, and so we're getting all of those true damage. And so you can see we're gonna hit basic right here because we don't need to heal at all, and basic gives us offense up, which is another buff, which they all have technically, but who cares. You can see right here, it didn't actually show up because we dealt enough damage with the basic ability. So let's go to one time. So if I were to go and do this, you can see it deals true damage to all of them, those white numbers, which is great because you get things like that. Now, something to keep in mind when you're going through this raid is the leader droid will always have an ability. And so this one with the arrows is the worst because it's at the end of each enemy's turn, an ally takes a bonus turn. So they're going to take a bonus turn every time you take a turn, which is a pain. So you're going to want to keep an eye on this and just make sure that you're good. I'm actually going to save my buff dispel really quick just because we're still taunting. So you can see here he has the charge, so at the end of an enemy's turn, take a bonus turn. So we don't want that because that's really rough to deal with, and so we get our ability every 2 rounds where we can go up into space, have our little space battle, and so when they have that arrow one and you want to get rid of it, you're going to want to use this one because it says remove the combat modifier from command droid, and so that's what we want to do when we have the arrows, because we just don't want to deal with them taking a whole bunch of bonus turns. It's just a pain in the butt, and so we just use that one. So you can see here, we no longer have the potency up, and so this is going to be a rough run for a bit until we can get him another turn. Let's get that taunt back up and running. Let's switch forms, go all in. So you want to kill the Stap as soon as possible because the Stap is going to get this debuff on your guys, which is going to make it so that way counterattacks will basically do nothing. Your overall priority are Staps and Droideka, then everything else. That's just the overall, like, go-to. Everyone has offense up. No one's super hurt, but we are going to heal up Luminara just in case. Yeah, you can see we're dealing literally no damage right now until we can get that debuff off. And so now we can get that debuff off, and now we'll be able to deal some damage. Let's get some heal up soap. And there's our potency up, so now we should be able to just absolutely demolish the other team. Let's call in Kit Fisto. And basic. No need to use the special ability. So right here we got our Droidekas, and so we're going to focus down our Droidekas as much as we can. Let's swap forms again. And so it's every time you use an ability that that happens, and so you saw we swapped forms and then it dealt damage to everyone. It's very, very nice. Unfortunately, they do have a buff dispel when it's this one. So this version of the buff that they can get, start of each ally's turn, dispel all debuffs on them whenever an enemy gains bonus turn, that kind of stuff. But then also these guys themselves have a buff dispel. And so if they dispel your buffs, you're kind of screwed for a second. So you're going to want to try and get your stuff going and get your potency up once again. Okay, we're 1 turn away from potency up, so we should be fine. And we're into the next round. Now, obviously, they have the arrows right now. We don't have anything for that. We don't have potency up, so we're going to go in there and we're going to take a look at what we have. I kind of want to get rid of the Staps quickly. And so I'm thinking that we do massively overpowered this time just to get rid of the Staps, so that way we're not losing out on stuff. And so what massively overpowered does is essentially when we use an ability on an enemy, it'll basically almost insta-kill them. And it's only when it's on their turn. So like you'll see here that, you know, right there it does it, but when we counterattack, we're not really doing much. Cam has a cleanse? Yeah, I'm not paying attention. Also, whenever you use a heal with Luminara, it'll heal up protection during this as well, which is super nice. Gosh dang, we timed that potency up terribly. They just cleansed it. Yeah, we don't pay attention to Cam's kit. Honestly, I have not read Cam's kit like through at all. And so I'm just using him as a blunt instrument at the moment. Let's get that protection disruption off so that way he doesn't get hurt. Of course, it comes right back. Get some turn meter out there. Okay, finally, we have our potency up again. And when they just use their buff dispel, it's the little heal ability that's their buff dispel. So, as long as you're paying attention to that, you should be fine. I just timed it poorly that time. Now we should have zero problems getting through the rest. Okay, we're gonna focus down that. We want our taunt up. Big hits all around. Let's hit that. Got some solid counter attacks. Okay, now we're gonna have to deal with this guy. We'll buff dispel him. And then we're going to go ahead and kill him off. And now we just got this guy. Okay, on to our last one. The really nice thing about this this last set of like stuff that we get, which you can do these in any order. Don't feel like you need to do them in an exact order. It's just if they have the arrows, it's a good idea to get rid of the one like we did. That could be on your first set, your second set, or your third set of ship battles. The nice thing about this last one is it does give potency up to your allies, which means that you can hit it and get yourself some potency up that's locked on to your allies, which is super nice because it'll allow you to do stuff like that where everything's dying but they can't dispel it. It's great. It's great. Now everything's dead. Okay, we'll hit that. I don't know why we didn't do potency up stuff right there, but that's fine. Okay, no one really needs healing, so we'll just do you. Okay, we got potency up twice now. It's the better version of potency up where it's potency twice. There we go. And there's your full score. So overall, not too hard with these guys as long as you have that Zeta on Luminara. You don't need the Zeta on Cam for this version. For the other version where you're using Qui-Gon, you don't need any other Zetas. The better mods you have, the better it's gonna go. But honestly, like I said, I used pretty garbage mods. Like literally, I just had whatever health mods I had on my just sitting around in my roster is what I used my first time I got a full score. And so it was like no more than 5, probably 3 to 9 speed on each mod and, you know, 30 speed arrows. And that was basically it my first time doing a full score. With this team, it's pretty brainless getting a full score. Just because Cam pushes their offense up quite a bit, even without his Zeta. All his Zeta does is increase their speed by 30. So overall, hopefully that helps you guys kind of get an idea. Maybe you should go read Cam's kit because I didn't, and I just used him as a blunt instrument because he's on my defense. One of these days I'll get around to reading him, but I just unlocked him from the Lightspeed bundle, and it basically makes this full auto. But hopefully that helps your guys' guild get rewards in the Naboo raid, because the Naboo raid is really rough and really gate-kept, and I hate that. So please get a full score for your guild. They'll love you forever. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Please throw in the comment section what Cam's kit does. Maybe you know and I don't. Probably you do know and I don't. But thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.